On this week's show, Tesla makes a big push into New Zealand with a Kiwi-specific promotional video, Daimler ditches hydrogen in favour of electric drive, and a team from Canterbury University wins a design award at the Eco Marathon in Singapore. All these stories and next, coming up on the show. This is ecoTEC's brand new Eco News Roundup show, brought to you by New Zealand's only carbon zero certified renewable electricity company. 100% Kiwi and 49% community owned, we're serious about clean, green, renewable energy. Have you switched? Head to ecoTEC.co.nz to join today. Hi there, I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield, a professional musician turned EV nut, eco-crusader, and fan of all things green. And it's my job to bring Kiwis a weekly roundup of the biggest news stories around the world in relation to cleaner, greener cars. And while this might be the first official episode, I'm super excited to be with you guys today. We're starting our show today with the news that Tesla is finally making a major push into the Kiwi marketplace with a promotional video on its YouTube channel that focuses specifically on the benefits of owning a Tesla Model S or Tesla Model X in New Zealand, not to mention officially launching Tesla sales. The video might only be 45 seconds in length, but it reminds us that New Zealand has a large chunk of its electricity coming from renewable energy, a fact that makes driving and owning an electric car like the Tesla Model S a bit of a no-brainer if you're eager to minimise your carbon footprint. With New Zealand's new incentive program for electric vehicles looking to get 64,000 plug-in cars on Kiwi roads by 2021, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel of an EV. But with Tesla Model S starting at around 120,000 Kiwi dollars, you may have to raid those piggy banks. The good news is that the Tesla Model 3 is also just around the corner, which will make life with a Tesla a whole lot cheaper. Staying with Tesla, the US company gave us all a bit of good news this week when it released its estimated delivery figures for the first quarter of 2017, something which sent stock prices soaring. The report provides a rough idea of how many cars Tesla made and shipped around the world during the first quarter of this year to an accuracy of around 0.5%, give or take, and comes ahead of the release of official figures which Tesla will release in about a month's time as part of its quarterly earnings report. Now, this time round, it shows Tesla making just over 25,400 cars during the first quarter and delivering around 25,000, a dramatic improvement on last year, thanks to a 54-46% split between Model S and Model X. And it shows that Tesla's market share is just getting bigger and bigger. It's no surprise then that, despite Tesla's financial losses in recent years, the shares for Tesla have rocketed under this estimate, catapulting the shares above $300 and giving Tesla a market cap above that of Ford. That said, however, I should note that while Tesla's market cap is currently higher than Ford's, the latter is still a much bigger car company, producing more vehicles in a week than Tesla did in a quarter. That fact, however, doesn't mean that mainstream automakers aren't afraid of Tesla. In fact, Tesla's doing so well in the plug-in marketplace that I've covered several stories of late involving automakers teaming up or pushing forward their electric vehicle programs in order to play catch-up. And this week is no exception, with Volkswagen-owned brands Porsche and Audi making an official announcement that they would work together on both future electric vehicle and autonomous car projects in an attempt to bring them to market more quickly. Audi and Porsche, both of which suffered as a consequence of the Dieselgate debacle, have traditionally kept their electric and autonomous vehicle programs separate from one another, despite being part of the same automotive family. But with both brands eager to tackle Tesla with full-size electric sedans and SUVs, an agreement has been struck that will tie both Audi and Porsche electric vehicles together until 2025. And after that point, both brands should have enough plug-in vehicles in development to go back to their current arrangement. Although I should note here, even then, chassis sharing and power plant sharing are just as likely to continue, as they have done for decades already. From two brands focusing on beating Tesla to another next in the form of Daimler, which announced at the tail end of last week that despite pushing forward with its plans to produce the GLC F-Cell plug-in fuel cell crossover, for fleet customers only, it would be shifting its company focus towards battery electric rather than hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. The reasons given? Well, hydrogen infrastructure just isn't ready for prime time, and the costs of hydrogen fuel cell vehicle production remain prohibitively high. Electric vehicles, on the other hand, are now capable of impressive range thanks to improved battery technology, are cheaper to produce thanks to falling battery costs, and are super easy to refuel. Hydrogen, meanwhile, well, that's off the table until the price of hydrogen fuel falls, and fuel cell stacks are a little cheaper to make. Since New Zealand doesn't even have a hydrogen fueling infrastructure to speak of, it's a moot point anyway. Electricity and batteries are already well ahead of the game. It's no secret that Tesla, while it's pushing full steam ahead with its upcoming Model 3 electric sedan, isn't being all that aggressive in marketing the car. In fact, as Tesla CEO Elon Musk has noted several times now, Tesla is actively engaging in anti-selling Model 3, encouraging customers to opt for Model S or even Model X rather than Model 3 when possible. Well, on Thursday, things took another interesting turn when Tesla actually posted a blog post on its site reminding customers that Model S and Model 3 are very different cars. Reiterating that Model 3 won't be a better car than Model S, the post states that Model S will still be Tesla's premium, market-leading sedan, complete with more power, more room, and more technology than Model 3. Model 3, meanwhile, it reiterated, will be simpler, smaller, and come with fewer options than Model S. But since Model S is only just coming to New Zealand, and Tesla has already said that right-hand drive countries like the UK, Australia, and New Zealand will have to wait, I guess Kiwis will get the benefit of seeing just how Model 3 is received by the rest of the world before they have to decide which car they're going to buy. We're off to the University of Canterbury next, where a student team dubbed the Enduro Kiwis won a prestigious design award at the Asian leg of the Shell Eco Marathon in Singapore. Sure, it's not a Tesla or a Nissan, but the vehicle, which was made of thermoformed plastic sheets and was designed to be as fuel efficient as possible, wowed judges with its fresh thinking about recyclability. It was also the most professionally built car the judges had ever seen, an accolade which I hope will help those students gain valuable internships in the future with major automakers looking to develop cleaner, greener rides. Sadly, the vehicle was forced to retire before the end of the final round of the Asian leg of the Shell Eco Marathon, but nevertheless, congratulations to all involved. Here's one for you. Which companies are currently leading in the world of autonomous vehicles? Any ideas? No, it's not Tesla. At least that's according to a study produced this week by Navigant Research, which puts Ford, General Motors, and Renault Nissan at the top of the autonomous vehicle charts, and Tesla all the way down in 12th place. How? Why? Well, while the study does give Tesla the lead when it comes to technology currently available in the marketplace, it also examined autonomous vehicle technology being developed by each of the major automakers and companies like Waymo and Uber, as well as each company's strategy to bring that technology to market. And while Tesla's current strategy has placed it in the lead of cars you can buy today, the hint is that this study expects other automakers to overtake Tesla in the next few years, as each bring their own brand of autonomous vehicle capabilities to market. I guess we'll have to wait and find out if the study's authors are right or not. From one study to another now, but this one that predicts the average price paid for the Tesla Model 3 sedan will be a little higher than the $42,000 price tag Elon Musk had predicted, and quite a lot higher than the headline-grabbing $35,000 price tag. At least that's according to data analyst Ben Sullins, who has been tracking the data from nearly 8,000 Model 3 reservation holders at model3tracker.info, a site devoted to tracking the reservation details and expected options that reservation holders will say they'll take if offered them. Sullins says the data suggests most reservation holders are expecting to pay between $45,000 and $55,000 for their car, demonstrating that while Tesla's Model 3 is being seen as many as a mass market affordable car, many early customers will be paying far more for their fully loaded cars than could be considered affordable. Given that Kiwis often pay more for their cars than other people elsewhere in the world, I'm curious to know what you think the New Zealand price will be for Model 3 when it arrives sometime in late 2018 or early 2019. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you're already an electric car driving Kiwi, you'll know that decent charging infrastructure can make the difference between an okay trip and a fabulous trip. So this next piece of news from our good friends at ChargeNet New Zealand should make you happy, namely that ChargeNet and BMW Group New Zealand are busy upgrading the network's current Type 1 charging stations to faster Type 2 CCS quick charging stations. Not only should it slash charging times for those who use the network, but the new Type 2 CCS quick charging upgrade will mean that the ChargeNet New Zealand network is ready for all those nice new longer range plug-in cars coming in the next few years. And that's great news for everyone. Now, while a lot of the stories I'm going to be covering here on Eco News are going to focus on the future of the automotive world with cleaner, greener cars aplenty, it doesn't mean that sometimes I'm not going to let myself soar with the birds up into the sky, like this next story, because it's about an all-electric, record-breaking airplane. You see, the Siemens Extra 330 LE plane, powered by a super powerful lightweight electric motor, recently hit a record-breaking 340 kph back at the end of March, putting it in the record books as the fastest electric plane out there. And if that wasn't enough, it also became the first all-electric plane to tow a glider into the air, towing a Type LS8 Neo glider to a height of 600 metres in just 76 seconds. And since not all gliding clubs can make use of winch lifts, this is very exciting news indeed, since gliding itself is a very environmentally friendly thing. It's just the getting up there that isn't always so green. Well done, guys. On to trucks next. We're off to Peloton, a startup company backed by hardware giant Intel, which has just begun a new round of funding to try and bring its automated truck convoy technology to market by the end of this year. The goal of the technology is pretty simple, allowing truck drivers to virtually connect their trucks to one another on long-haul routes in order to become massively long truck trains, following one another far more closely than would be possible with a human driver, with the frontmost truck leading the others in mother duck and chick style. The benefits? Reduced drag and improved fuel efficiency, plus obviously less risk of driver fatigue or injury. While the firm has been working with regulators, truck operators, vehicle manufacturers, and technology providers to perfect its system, Peloton is still confident that it will have its technology in the marketplace and saving trucking firms billions in fuel costs long before fully autonomous trucks hit the market. This next story might seem a little weird, but stick with me because I think it's kind of cool. Meet Tank 2, a new battery system for electric cars, which instead of using either a traditional solid battery pack or liquid electrolyte, is made up of lots of tiny battery balls, which you literally pour into a battery. Once poured in, the batteries, which have contacts on all sides, can intelligently orient themselves, figuring out the best way of connecting themselves to each other and then sending power to your vehicle's drivetrain. I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it, but claims the Finnish American company behind it, it could revolutionise the way we think about electric vehicle battery packs. And since the modules are infinitely configurable, could lead to some pretty interesting electric vehicle capabilities. Oh, and if your battery becomes low, you could just stop at a swap station, pour out the old batteries and pour new ones in. Yeah, I'm not convinced either, but this one was just too fun sounding to not include in today's show. And on that note, it's time for me to say goodbye. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Tell your friends about the show, and if you've got some feedback, don't be afraid to send it our way. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend, make sure you do something fun, and don't forget to help those wind turbines spin by switching to New Zealand's only carbon zero certified renewable electricity. Thanks for joining me. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield, and until next time, hug a tree. Bye!